Welcome back to another Crypto Warehouse OGs video. And today we're going to look at something very specific, and that is Grayscale Investment Trust. Now, this is an absolute mammoth in the crypto sphere. I think somewhere in the region of $100 billion of assets under management. And of course, they were holding 600,000 Bitcoin at the start of this year, although that has been sold off with the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs. They also hold an awful lot of Ethereum. Again, that has been selling off with the launch of the Ethereum ETFs. But what I'm going to do in this video is give you 3 different elements of Grayscale that I think you need to look at. And then at the end, tell you why I don't think you should FOMO into every single coin that they pick. I think it's a dangerous decision to do. Again, it's not financial advice, it is my opinion. So let's start then with the list of projects that are on Grayscale. We obviously have Bitcoin and Ethereum. And some of the top dogs, they have XRP recently, and of course they have Solana. So all is good in the hood as far as those projects are concerned. But it's when you look under and you see what else they've got that you start to wonder whether Grayscale are actually very good at picking projects that are going to be winners. What do I mean by that? Well, you have basic attention token, you have Filecoin, you have Ethereum Classic, you have Bitcoin Cash. You have projects that I personally don't think are living, vibrant projects. They're projects which had the previous bull run for success, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere in the future. So given that, what are Grayscale doing? Are they simply picking trendy coins? That is a possibility. Now, don't get me wrong, Grayscale have picked some other really good gems in there, such as the likes of Chainlink. So it's not all bad. But my issue is that every time they add a token such as SUI, the market reacts by pumping that token. In the case of SUI, it's gone up almost 30% in the last few days. I think this is dangerous. Why? Because if you look at the amount of tokens held, it's very, very small. If we take SUI, for example, there's only $912,000 in that particular trust. Now, of course, that's going to grow over time. But if you look at some of the other tokens they've had for some time, they're only in the $5 to $10 million range. Now, pumping a token that's worth $1 or $2 billion by 30%, 15% is adding way more than the actual value of the tokens being bought by these trusts. And herein lies my problem. It's monkey see, monkey do. They've added this token, it must be a token to buy, I'm going to go and buy that myself. That shouldn't be how you carry out your investments. You should do your own research into these tokens. Now, clearly, I would say that XRP and Chainlink and Solana and Ethereum and certainly Bitcoin are absolute winners. But I've also given you 5 other coins that I don't think are winners. They've also got Decentraland, for example, which I don't think is going to have a very good bull run either. So as far as I'm concerned, their investment is potentially 50-50, 50% winners, 50% losers. So what I'm trying to say here is don't simply blindly buy everything that Grayscale Trust is buying. I don't think that's the right way forward. Look at the narratives in the market. Why haven't Grayscale gone out and created a deep-in trust, a real-world asset trust? What are the other new buzzwords? The DECC trusts. Why haven't they created different trusts based on the niches in the markets? AI is a good example. Now, I know they're adding near, and they have done, but you have the likes of FET, Singularity, Oceans, which have become ASI, you have Render, you have a lot of other AI tokens, and they've not added them all. Personally, if I was going to go and invest in an oil trust, for example, I would look at one that has the likes of BP and Shell and maybe Mobile. If I'm going to come along and see Grayscale Trust and I know anything about crypto, I'm going to want exposure to the majority of layer 1s and layer 2s, the majority of AI tokens, the majority of real-world asset tokens. I don't simply want to go and allocate 1% of my Grayscale portfolio to basic attention token, because that's simply not going to work. So in recap then, Grayscale is somebody to keep an eye on. They are a big player in the market, but secondly, don't blindly follow them and buy everything that they are looking at. Just because they bought the token doesn't mean it's a foregone conclusion it's going to be a success. Now finally, another thought about Grayscale before I go. Look at what's happened to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin goes live, the ETFs goes live, and what happens? Grayscale dumps and has been dumping now for almost 6 months. The Ethereum trust is converted into the ETF as long as the other applications that continue to dump and suppress the price of Ethereum. So maybe in the future, and again, this is not financial advice, when we do get to the stage of having a Solana ETF, it may be a good idea to sell your Solana before the go live, wait 6 months, buy Solana again. If we look at the price of Ethereum before the ETFs went live, the price of Bitcoin before the ETFs go live, I'm not pointing my finger directly at Grayscale for the dump of Bitcoin and Ethereum, because that's of course not the case. You have buy the rumor, sell the news, but they have been a big factor in the dump and the suppression of both prices. So don't be surprised if it happens with Solana. Now finally then, the one other thing to bear in mind is not all of their trusts are going to become ETFs in the future. I do believe that we are going to see an XRP ETF in the future, and potentially Chainlink, even Litecoin could become an ETF. So there's certainly some coins to look at in the future. But again, over time, you have to ask yourself the question I ask about NFTs. How many NFTs are too many NFTs? In this case, how many ETFs are too many? 10, 50, 500? At what point do we start to see diminishing returns from the impact of these ETFs? We've seen a massive impact from the Bitcoin one because it was the first. We've seen a fairly sizable impact from the Ethereum one because it's the second, and the numbers are still very good. They're in the top 10 of this year, certainly for ETF purchases. But after Solana and XRP, what comes next? Is the market going to have grown to the point where the Chainlink ETF is going to be massive, or an XRP, or even a Litecoin ETF? Are they going to have massive numbers behind them, potentially in the future as crypto grows? But keep an eye on everything, and obviously heed my words, but do your own research. If you happen to want to create a Grayscale portfolio and buy everything they do, by all means. But I don't think they're backing every single winner in every single race. Now then, thank you for watching. I will be converting this video into a normal video for our platform, probably in about a week's time. I'm going to set a timer to convert it from an OG video to a normal video. So you're going to get a week's head start on this video. And I would like to thank you for being an OG member and helping support the channel. As always, you have been great. I have been Mike. Until the next video, goodbye.
I gotta go. I'll see you later.